Hello everyone and welcome back to TSW6. Today we are checking out the second free, I repeat, free remaster to come out in the space of a week. This is the Koln to Aachen route remaster. If you remember, this is the German base route for Train Sim World 2. It's had a new timetable added. Now they've revamped the trains to modern standards and added new lighting and new foliage, new bridge assets. There's a lot of stuff. So let's go have a look at the route itself. Go down. As you can see, new cover image. Oh, wait a minute. Look, if you hover over it, it still says exclusive to Train Sim World 2. That is hilarious that is still there, despite the remaster. So, scenarios, I believe, are basically unchanged, if I'm not mistaken. Then if we go to the timetable, we still have the 3 timetables that were there before. No changes to that have been made, I believe. So we have the OG release timetable. Oh, including a layer for the BR294 from Leipzig, Dresden. The new Journeys expansion, which adds S-Bahn services for the BR423. And the revamped timetable, which is the one that you should be playing because it's got a ton more services. It still has the BR101 expert layer if you have that. So yeah, the trains that you can use are the, I believe this is the 4th gen Dosto cab car from Mein Spessartbahn. I think that is required to get that layer. Just need to type something in. There we go. The BR103 from Link Rheinstrecke. Wait a minute. The Dosto cab car does the RE1 services from Koln to Aachen. The BR103 from Link Rheinstrecke does one heritage tour from Aachen to Koln. We have the BR146, which was, I believe, a Mein Spessartbahn layer, but a bunch of other ones come in, including the front ones from Kinzigtaubahn, Dresden, Leipzig, Kassel-Würzburg. The BR185, that layers in, I believe that requires Kassel-Würzburg, but don't quote me on that. The BR193 Vectron does some services, but if you click on the Railpool one and type in NJ, then there's some Nightjet services that you can do. They use the Railpool one since there isn't an OBB Vectron in the game. The BR642 does a couple of runs either from Aachen to Stolberg or from Horum to Koln, doing like, I believe that is in lieu of the BR640, but don't quote me on that. The BR101 from the original BR101 does some services, 4 services, and then the Expert 101 does those 4 services as well, but you require the original 101. The Press BR155 from Bremen to Oldenburg does some freight. The BR182 MRC from Hamburg to Lübeck does some stuff, which is freight. BR185 again, MRCE from Rome to Austin. And now we're getting to the stuff that's included with the route. The BR423 from the New Journeys pack has gotten a modern update, so it does Köln to Köln-Efrenfeld, or Köln to Sindorf, or Düren to Köln. Then the BR442 Talent 2, which we are going to be driving today, that does the RE9 from Köln to Aachen. Then the BR406 ICE 3M, which is included with the route, does a couple of empty stop moves and then the high-speed run from Köln to Aachen with no stops. The ICE 1 from Kassel-Würzburg layers in to do some services, most of them early in the morning or late at night. And then the BR425 from Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr layers in to do some short services from Köln to Köln-Efrenfeld, and then there's a bunch of static stock. And I do believe I have all the layers for this timetable, apart from the shunting services that come with Rursig Nord and the red BR363. And I'm planning on not getting that line. So once we go, let's go back here, and I'll run you through the full details that come with this remaster. Implemented Todd-Full lighting to the route and stations, new catenary rendering and materials, new landscape ballast material, new grass and vegetation textures, added night lighting to dense city areas like Köln Hauptbahnhof, added lighting to the churches in Aachen, updated signal materials, updated display board materials, replaced the old infinitely recycled green bridges for newer models, updated track descriptors, and then for the Talent 2, the Talent 2 has updated displays, FIS, headlights, and all emitters to work with new TOD 4 lighting, and added GSMR textures in the cab. For the i3M, it added new widgets to make screens look better in TOD 4 lighting. The MTD has been adjusted to be more realistic now, including Schalten and Werkstatt pages. AFB on the i3 is now selectable. On the BR423, which runs the S-Bond surfaces, it has updated displays, FIS headlights, and all emitters to work with new TOD 4 lighting. As a reminder, this is a completely free update to owners of the Koln-Aachen route. And yeah, it's if you're watching this right after I post the video, it is currently available for 60% off on Steam. And there's also a small hotfix to address an instant derailment after leaving Reading on multiple services from Bristol Terminal to Felixstowe North on the Great Western Express Remaster. So yeah, let's get the service we're doing today. First, the service we're doing today is RE9 10907 Aachen to Koln on the revamped timetable. Talent 2, I've not driven this thing in ages. So is it 10907? 10907. Dynamic weather, let's put you to June. Light clouds. And let's get started. Alright, viewers, welcome to Aachen Depot. I believe, is it that way? No, there go the tracks toward Belgium. And yeah, we've got Aachen Hauptbahnhof in front of us. There is one of the night jet services I was talking about, which is very nice. And first thing straight off, new lighting, of course, new volumetric skies, new OHLE, which is very nice indeed, track shadows implemented, of course. And yeah, I liked Koln-Aachen before, even with the old lighting engine, and now this should be absolutely awesome. So, gotta remember how to set up the Talent 2. Master switch is already on. Okay, interesting. Put that to forward. Indirect brake is already in release, so let's put you to marker. Leave you at marker lights? Or are you just displaying? Okay. Wait a minute. What? With the pre-remaster, the low tone, as you can hear, cuts out. This doesn't happen on the versions of the Talent 2 for Nafeka Dresden and Dresden Leipzig. And yet with the remaster, that still hasn't been fixed, despite that issue being a holdover from the BR1442 from Rapid Transit, which is the first German route ever in this game. And that issue is still present. That is not good. I was hoping that they would fix that. Where's the P? I can never remember where the P. Ah, here it is. PZB, please. Battery. Give me. Just PZB? Oh, SIFA. Do you have Elza B? Please tell me you have Elza B. You do not have Elza B. Very good. Okay, so we're already in the correct PZB mode, which is somewhat nice. But yeah, I cannot believe that with the route's biggest update to date, and they still couldn't fix one of my biggest bugbears with this line. That's annoying. I should also mention that this remaster is not just developed by Dovetail Games. They had help from the new third-party developer, Foles World, who's also making a Duisburg to Mönchengladbach, I think it is, route as well. Right, let's give it some welly. I believe this thing has a tempo mat, which it does. Nice. Oh, I should not have put it on at such a low speed, but it is what it is. As I said, I've not driven this thing for a good while now. Yeah, you can tell this thing it has older texturing compared to the two Dresden Talent 2s, but I couldn't honestly care less because it still looks decent, even in this lighting engine. And finally having this route remastered up to a decent level is very nice. coming into Aachen Hauptbahnhof. I like how it starts you at the depot and not at the platform. That is very nice. Don't get that with too many routes these days. Oh, hello. That is a 500 hertz magnet. So yeah. This remaster actually only came out a few minutes ago as I'm recording this, so this is like my genuine first look and impressions at this remaster. Door unlock, please. Yeah. I also have the other two versions of the two other versions of the Talent 2, one with Nachwerker Dresden and one with Dresden Leipzig. I don't have the Rapid Transit Talent 2, which also has the horn issue, but I'm not that interested in getting Rapid Transit unless a substantial remaster is done to that route, which I hope it will get, because yeah, Koln to Aachen has shown that it can be done. Like, look, we have a 111 from Salzburg Rosenheim, we've got the night jet service there, we've got a couple of freight locomotives tootling over there, we've got a 146 over here, and just this random Kidgels wagon over here. Yeah, so just a reminder, this timetable has not updated. It is the route that has received the major update. So this remaster is less extensive than the GWE remaster, but it is still a substantial update. And yeah. So where are we stopping? We're stopping at, started at Aachen Depot, Aachen Hauptbahnhof, Aachen Roth-Erde, Stolberg Rheinl Hauptbahnhof, Eschweiler Hauptbahnhof, Langewehr Hauptbahnhof, Düren Hauptbahnhof, Horem, Koln Ephraimfeld, and Koln Hauptbahnhof. Total journey time is about an hour, I believe, to do the full RE9. But yeah, after which this service will continue on its AI to Siegen. It is nice to see this old route finally get the developmental attention it deserves, because despite the timetable, the route was looking incredibly outdated by modern standards. Since, yeah, the visuals of the route hadn't changed since it came out in the TSW6 era, so to finally see it up to scratch with a proper timetable, oh man, this has to be my second favorite modern German electrified route, behind, probably behind Dresden to Leipzig, which I'm not playing on camera until the Expert BR145 comes out, because it currently has a lot of performance issues. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the Expert BR145 by Trainsim Germany. And I'm also looking forward to the Freightliner Class 70 that's just been announced by Oldboard Studios, because that looks awesome. Finally having a new British diesel freighter to supplant the Class 66 is making me understandably quite happy. Right, next stop, Aachen Roth-Erde in 1.8 kilometers. Right, tempomat on. Oh, oops. I do apologize. I'm usually more competent than this. I forgot we were still under the influence of a 500 hertz. Oops. Quiet. Thank you. Right, let me... Oh no, and now you're going to take an age to release the brakes, aren't you? Release. Make sure the indirect brakes are release. Yeah, you're going to take an age to recharge the brake pipes. Not off to a good start, I must say, but it is what it is. Nice. Come on. Speed. We need speed and power. Oh, instrument lights aren't too bright, I must say, but it is what it is. Yes! Okay, right. Full speed ahead. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Come on, tempomat. Thank you. Alright, we are clear up to 40. Let's go. Oh, wow, okay. Train's doing power itself, it seems. I forgot to put the throttle in and it still zoomed off. So, oh, yes, the area around Aachen. The Aachen Viaduct now looks a ton better. Look at those old churches. This route is great if you're a fan of old churches. Especially Koln Cathedral. 40 limit coming out. does this thing now have dynamic suspension? I don't think... Wait, did this not get dynamic suspension? I could have sworn it didn't have it in the patch notes. That's sad. No dynamic suspension? So yeah, this remaster is definitely not... I think we've just all been spoiled by the Great Western Express remaster, because while this is not as big in scope, it's just been dwarfed by its more popular counterpart. Tapping that off. Start the brakes going. 30 seconds to get there. I don't think we'll get there in time, but when in modern history have Deutsche Bahn been known to operate on time? Not really. So I'll just take it and see if I can make up the time. Because it is pretty easy in TSW to make up the time if you're careful. Can I open the windows in this thing? No. Don't think you can. Oh well, it is what it is. Yeah. Considering this is a free remaster, I'm quite happy with it. There's a few minor bugbears like the low tone on the horn still being an absolute annoyance, but right, onto the brakes. Come on. Oh my goodness, this thing is efficient at braking. Okay, we are 20 seconds late, which is not as bad as I feared, if I'm being honest. Right. How's performance? 50-ish FPS with some stock rendered in over there. That's decent. This route always has performed decently, and we'll be able to depart on time, which is quite nice. What's our stop after this? Stolberg Rheinl. I see. Let's have a bit of a look around the interior. That's what the interior looks like. Standard Talent 2, really. I've not driven the Talent 1 in ages, but I have driven the Talent... I have not driven the Talent 2 in ages, but I have driven the Talent 1 on Semmeringbahn, I think it is. Maximum speed. Next spot, Stolberg, in 7 kilometers. So we do have quite a bit to go. Come on. Maybe I should wait until I get like 30 kilometers an hour before implementing it. Before implementing this. What's our top speed, by the way? Does it say? 160. Very good. We also don't have LZB. So once we're on the high speed section, yeah. Fun fact, in this yard, in the revamped timetable, you can actually see static class 700 coaches, because they are actually some class 700 coaches were stored here before it shipped off to Britain for Thameslink, which is actually so cool. Right, maximum oomph. There's a lot of static stock at this yard, man. Absolutely nuts. Especially BR111s for some reason. I do like the 111, but I do prefer the blue and cream one from Mittenwald Bahn. This thing does have a quite nice speed set, so I can take advantage of that. Yeah, I don't think this thing has dynamic suspension, which is odd considering like that's a base TSW feature since TSW4, but oh well. One can't have everything, I suppose. Koln to Aachen is still an excellent route. I just wish that more was done to the stock. It seems as though the only thing that has been done to the stock is add slightly more functionality and make sure that they're compatible with TOD full lighting, but unfortunately it is what it is. Yeah, I wish that the stock had been implemented with the dynamic suspension and the low tone on the Talent 2 had been fixed, but one can't have everything, and I'm not going to complain since this is a free update. Here is whatever this station is, which I can't remember the name of. Fun fact, before the revamped timetable came out, that station that we just passed didn't have any services stopping there. Ooh, hot air balloon. Nice. Right. Look at this! This is awesome! And the scenery looks so much better now as well. They've removed those things on the side didn't used to be glowing as if they were lights, but now they're just reflective. That is very interesting. That is very interesting indeed. Ooh, this thing looks so good in the tunnels, like the night lighting in the train. Very nice indeed. Right, Sifa. We do have 2.9 kilometers and a 120 limit coming into Stolberg. Oh man. But I'm just gonna say this is a great update. Especially for free. Like, I have a few minor bugbears, but apart from that, this is basically a perfect update, and I'm glad. And since the revamped timetable came out, I've been wondering if we would ever get a new timetable, a new like proper TOD 4 lighting updates to this route. But it seems as though the devs have heard us and finally brought this route up to semi-modern standards. I'm not going to say it's full modern because we don't have a lot of stuff which would make this a modern, quote-unquote, modern route, but for a free update and for an excellent route, I will take it, especially since I am quite a fan of Koln Aachen. And I will probably be playing this route quite a bit more now because this is admittedly pretty excellent. Guess I'll just have to use the high tone instead of the low tone. I think I'll be driving the Talent 2 quite a bit more now on this route. But yeah, there's no like announcements or anything. That's something I forgot to mention. No train faults either. Right, max brake. Come on! Stop! Oh my goodness. This Talent 2 can stop quickly, like it's hit a brick wall. Fair play. Right, let's just take the brake off since it holds us anyway. 1 minute here at Stolberg. Let's see. I don't think there's been any major changes to the stations. Just like added TOD 4 lighting to stuff. Was that parking garage always like that? I do not remember. These, I believe these PIS screens are up to scratch as well, which is very nice. Yeah, I'm quite enjoying this. Definitely is not as comprehensive or as mind-blowing as the Great Western Express remaster, but it is definitely an excellent remaster. 20 seconds to go till we depart for Eschweiler, Hauptbahnhof. Right, and shut the doors. Alright, here we go. Top speed to Eschweiler, Hauptbahnhof. Maximum speed, please. Let's take the tempomat on, please. Come on. Thank you. On. Thank you. Thank you. Tempomat's being a tad interesting, but it is what it is. There's some... What are those wagons? Oh, those are the Janos wagons from the Railpool Vectron DLC. I actually don't have Nahverkehr Dresden installed because, yeah, I just thought that having Leipzig to Dresden would be a better idea. There's another Talent 2. Okay, if you press the high horn button... Oh. Slow down. Come on, full brake. Brake. Okay, speed set is good at maintaining speed. Do have to admit. We are stuck at 110 for a bit. Even the high-speed stuff can't go faster than 110. Man, it has been a while since I drove the Talent 2. I drove the Dresden-Leipzig Talent 2 on a run on... I think it was the Kosvig branch on a secret Twitch stream a while back, but... Yeah, I have not driven on this line for a while. Well, in a Talent 2. I don't think I've ever done the full Koln Aachen run in a Talent 2, to be fair. I've always been in stuff like the BR146 or the loco hauled stuff, not the multiple units. Well, say multiple units and then I forget stuff like the Ice 3M. I haven't done the Ice 3 yet. I think the Ice 3M was the first train I ever drove on this line. Scenery looks pretty dang good, I must say. Like, especially the distant scenery has received a substantial update. Tunnels now look good as well. Tunnel lighting is decent. Right, onto the brakes. My goodness, this Talent 2 slows down fast. It's like hitting a brick wall. I think the only thing which slows down faster than this is the Class 380 on Cathcart Circle or ScotRail Express. Oh, wow, that's an overshoot. That is an overshoot and a half. Please stop within the platform area. Yeah, I think we will still stop within the platform area. There goes Sifa. 60-meter overshoot. Oops. Doors open. Everybody out. NPCs will do janky things as per usual. But, yeah. I wish there would be a core update to finally fix the NPC's janky behavior once and for all. But I don't think that's ever going to happen, if I'm being honest. Don't think that's ever going to happen. Yeah. Despite being in the revamped timetable, there hasn't been too much appearing so far, except a lot of static stock. Performance is excellent, though. Rock solid 60 FPS. It must have done some re-optimizations, man. This is great, this performance. Right, 7.2 kilometers to Langerwehr Hauptbahnhof. Right, Tempomat. Come on, buddy. Do like having Tempomat. Very nice. That's also another neat feature that's also included in Talent 1, if you happen to have that. And 110, and we can go up to 160, which is our legal limit. We can't go past that. I believe the fastest speed you can go on this route is 250 kilometers an hour on the stretch between Koln, Ephraimfeld, and Düren. Ooh, this level crossing looks nice. And that is only attainable by the ICE 3M. Oh man, scenery looks really good. This is excellent. I must say, if you like good scenery, then this is a route to get. Come on, maximum oomph from the electric motors, if you don't mind. 160, which is our top speed. Should get there in... Yeah, we're supposed to be there in under 4 minutes. This thing is quite quick. Yeah, I think Koln Aachen, if you thought about like a British route equivalent to this, would probably be Edinburgh to Glasgow by Rivet Games, because linear, somewhat short, but also rather enjoyable to drive, and you're capable of pretty high speeds in between stations. At least there's some shaking back and forth, which I don't think is suspension. Let's have a look. No. Would that count as suspension? I don't think so. I don't think it's enough movement to count as dynamic suspension, unfortunately. We are booking it. 160 kilometers an hour is very nice indeed. Look at those wind turbines. I believe those wind turbines were there before, but the amount of vegetation is just like massively increased. And oh man, I'm just glad to see Koln to Aachen gets even more love after the revamped timetable was released. I thought the revamped timetable would be the end of the updates that we get for this line, but no, it turned out that we would get even more stuff in the form of this remaster. Yeah. I am... Oh. Acknowledge! Thank you. Goodness gracious, man. Thought I wouldn't acknowledge there for a minute, and I panicked and thought I was going to have to... Oh no. No! I didn't slow down in time. Dang it! Second time of the day. I do apologize. I should have braked myself and not let the speed set do the job. Quiet, thank you. Right. And now we have to wait for the brakes to recharge again. Is there a brake charge button? Some German trains do have a brake that can you change the suspension height of this train? I think that's what that is. Didn't know that was a thing. Cab lights dimmer, instrument lights. Doesn't appear there's like a brake overcharge button. Nope, there's no such thing as a brake charge button. Right, maximum speed. Need to get up to 80. Just have 1 minute to get there. I think we'll be slightly late to Langewehr, and we've only got 1 minute there, so hopefully we'll be alright. Right. This will be a PZB acknowledge, which is good. Yeah. Now, the only remaster that we're waiting for is the East Coastway, Brighton to Seaford and Eastbourne remaster, which is coming. Which I'm quite excited for. I actually picked up the East Coastway at the Class 313 in anticipation of the remaster's release. I haven't touched it yet because I want to experience the remaster from the jump when I start traveling on that line. And of course the Rivet Games Class 171 and 377/3 pack does look pretty decent as well. Having a turbo starter run on that line will be quite nice. And the guy who's developing the new timetable for East Coastway is actually adapting it from a mod timetable that he made for the PC chaps to enjoy a while back, and is actually adapting it as paid DLC, which is very nice indeed. Alright, we are slightly late into Langewehr. The route map I need to get. Right, now. Full on... Oh, I just put it in emergency. Oops. That had been red. That would have been bad, but it is what it is. Let the brakes recharge. Oh, no. That's the one. Welcome to... What is this? Langewehr. There's a BR642 over there from Maintalbahn, waiting to go on. Waiting to go down a little branch line. Oh. Locked doors. Believe I unlocked both doors on both sides by mistake, but that's just a skill issue. Next stop is Düren Hauptbahnhof, after which we will start to see... Why aren't you letting me engage the power? Thank you. Now you're letting me engage the power. After Düren, we will start seeing Koln S-Bahn services, so it should get substantially busier. 9 kilometers to Düren Hauptbahnhof, and we could go up to 160 kilometers an hour, basically from the jump. But we do have an 80 limit coming out of this little siding here. Wonder if we'll see. The Aachen to Düren section, since it's slower speed running, can feel empty without the S-Bahn stuff. But it is, I'm not going to question it since it is a realistic timetable. It's like based on actual working timetables, unlike the previous 2 timetables that we've had for this route, so yeah. Right, maximum speed. Man, Talent 2 is fast. It's not fast in terms of top speed, but in terms of acceleration and braking. Oh, Treason World. We are booking it right now. Almost 150 kilometers an hour. Having the AFB to help with, was that a plane? Yeah, it is. It's a light aircraft. Look at that. Never noticed that before. Must be like a small airport nearby. Okay. Not too much detail from that bridge, I must say. Lots of flat grass texture. That's the first bit of dodgy scenery I've seen so far today. Alright, we have just under 5 minutes to get to Düren, with 5 kilometers to go. Probably be shunted in on the side track. So yeah. Oh, there is some stuff going on here. There's a Humvest to Aachen, which is going to be a 146 with Dostos. we're pulling it at platform 3. There's a 423 there, and a couple of 642s. Nice. And then after that we start doing the high speed. That's when we get on the high speed line to Horum, and then Koln, Effenfeld, and Koln. So yeah, we've had quite a rapid stopping pattern since Aachen, but the stops will get a lot, have a lot more distance between them once we get to, once we get past Düren and get onto the high speed line. That's where the S-Bahn stuff starts doing the heavy lifting in terms of local services, which for some reason, and I've never got why this is the thing, the 423 is a separately sold add-on to this day, and I don't get why that is, since it's just the Munich to Augsburg 423 with some different stickering, and the fact that it's still a separately sold add-on, a very cheap separately sold add-on, but still a separately sold add-on that you have to buy separately. Let's slow down quick. Slow down, buddy. Right, I think, ooh, the infamous triangle bridge. And let's get a picture with that, because the triangle bridge is my favorite. Oh, I should probably favorite like landmark on the route. Probably left it too late, but it is what it is. Yeah, that, oh, that's very nicely framed actually. Let's turn down the depth of field a tad, just a tad. There we go. And let's add a bit of motion blur, and that looks pretty excellent. Oh wait, no. Okay, future tip: don't let the CIFA, the thing. Oh, nice water towers. Oh my goodness, it's even louder in external view. Oh, at least we're not too far from Düren. I think we can still make it on time. Okay. Don't let the future for future me, don't let the tempomat do the braking yourself, or an emergency brake application will occur. I do apologize. I'm normally much more competent at driving trains than this. That's what I think that's my third emergency brake application of the day, and we're not even halfway along the route. Lol. Let's see. How's the... Why do we have absolutely no one on this train? Yeah, there's no one on this train. Where are all the NPCs gone? Because I saw NPCs get off at Eschweiler. So what's going on here? Very weird. Just make sure. You're good. Right, you're gonna want me to acknowledge. No, you're not. Okay. Alright, 700 meters to Düren. We can still make it on time, which I'm pretty thankful for. Yeah. Honestly, this section from Düren to Koln is where the route starts getting really busy. And it's probably the section I've been most looking forward to seeing in this remaster, because, yeah. Scenery is still a bit meh in places, I have to say, unless you're in cab view. But fortunately, it is what it is. There's 642. A minute early, despite the emergency brake application. There's a 423 on the right there, just closing its doors. That won't block us because it is a S-Bahn service, and it has its own dedicated S-Bahn tracks, which is quite nice. Right, max brake please, onto the brakes. Perfect stop, and we're early as well, despite the emergency brake application. There goes the 423. So we've got a 423 over there, and over there. Very nice. This Düren Bahnhof is a nice station to explore. Including, it also has this mysterious turntable here. Like, what is this doing here? If it's, anyway, must say the Talent 2's modeling has aged decently well on this line. It definitely looks better on Nafika Dresden and Dresden Leipzig, but it's still pretty decent. And also, another point in this route's favour is I have not noticed any bits of missing overhead catenary yet, which is sometimes a thing, which is often a thing with German routes. But there's a bit of catenary, which is, despite the Nafika Dresden remaster for TSW4, they still managed to miss a bit of catenary, and then that missing bit of catenary got ported over to Dresden Leipzig when they did the paid route extension, which is pretty funny. Right. Let's actually go to external view for this door close. Alright. Maximum speed, please. Up to 100 straight away, and then up to 200. Next stop, Horem, in 20 kilometers. Alright. So when we get into the 200 section, we'll only be able to go up to 160, since it is our legal limit in the Talent 2, but yeah, it is what it is. Right. Maximum speed, please. Alright. Oh, I forgot to go into photo mode around the churches at Aachen and put it into nighttime. Oh well. Oh, track droid sounds. Pretty good track droid sounds at that. Right, up to 160. We're going 90 kilometers an hour under the legal limit on this line, which is 250 if you've got the proper equipment. I believe this route is now operated by, not by ICE 3Ms, but by a different kind of train, which, is it an ICE 4? Not entirely sure. There's a 185. Yeah, also I forgot to mention this whole time, there is actually a forgotten DLC for Koln Aachen, and that's the BR-187 by Skyhook Games, and quite possibly the worst train ever put in the game, which is why I've never picked it up, which is why you see the 185 everywhere. I'm not interested in ever procuring the 187. That thing has a bunch of switch sounds are missing. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner, and basically the external modeling is the only good thing about it. And for some reason I think that was Skyhook Games' like first ever add-on, and it was made for this line, but it substitutes him with all the other German stuff in this game. But yeah, it's so bad that I've never even thought about picking it up, because I've just like seen the few videos that are circulating about it, and I've just like nearly vomited. There's the 423 that left Durin earlier. He has a top speed of only 140, so we can overtake him. Very nice. Oh man, this is so fun. This is one of the things that you could do in the revamped timetable, which you couldn't do in the original 2. You can actually race the S-Bahn stuff on this section of line. We also don't have LZB, so still have to manually control the speed using the AFB. Nice. That's you don't get to overtake trains going in the same direction on too many routes, because there are very few routes that are busy enough to allow you to do that. So that is very satisfying. Just let the train do all the tempomat, do all the heavy lifting for the speed. I don't think we have any like other trains in front of us. Basically on a dead straight section of line all the way to Horem. We also stop at so Horem, Koln, Efrenfeld, Koln, Hauptbahnhof. Oh, thank you, Sifa. So yeah, Koln, Hauptbahnhof in the revamped timetable is nuts. There is a lot of traffic, as you can see, and not only that, there is a ton of static stock at Koln depot. don't think not many of which are drivable, but there is still a lot of static stock at the depot. Which, considering there is a lot of static stock on this line, considering like consoles do have a memory limitations, and yeah, I believe the revamp timetable is like somewhat cut back on Gen 8 consoles, but yeah, I'm not too sure. I believe it's the full timetable on Gen 9 consoles, of course. Which, yeah, I'm surprised this game to this day still supports Generation 8 consoles, because hardly any routes are released that even support Gen 8 consoles at any capacity, and not only that, when routes do support Generation 8 consoles, it's normally like the services are heavily cut back. 9 kilometers to go, which means we've already covered half the distance. This thing eats the kilometers. Man. This thing absolutely just goes. Another nice thing about the Koln to Aachen line is there's a lot of freight stuff running around, which is very nice, but normally as AI you only see BR-185s from Castle Würzburg doing the honors, which is definitely quite annoying because, yeah, we're still getting a rock solid 60 FPS. Considering this is a pretty hefty timetable, and there's new foliage and scenery and new lighting, that's pretty insane that we're getting such good FPS. I just don't get it. How are the Great Western Express and Code to Aachen remasters both so good on the frame rate? It's just awesome. There's a lot of routes which don't do too well on the old frame rate. Looking at you in particular, what route am I thinking of? Hang on, I have to think about which route it is. Kinzigtaubahn. Yeah, that's going to be my route, which I'm going to emphasize as the route which we don't want to emulate. But Kinzigtaubahn to this day still hasn't been optimized properly, and it's laggy, and I once did a service in an ICE 1 off camera from Frankfurt to Fulda on the Kinzigtaubahn with just Spotify open in the background, no recording software running or anything. I was at 19 frames a second by the time I got to Fulda. It was awful, and it was stuttering constantly too. So having a route with TOD 4 lighting that runs nicely is a massive W. Alright, 3 kilometers to go to Horm. So we'll also... Wait a minute. I cannot remember... Wait a minute. So... Where's that S-Bahn train we were chasing? So you're an S19. And I believe it's the... What are they? S12. So we'll start seeing S12 services after Horm. Right, start slowing down since we do have a yellow signal ahead, and I want to stay ahead of that because we've had 3 emergency brake applications today. Somehow we've stayed on time, but I'm not willing to risk that again. So... yeah, there we go. Already slowing down in plenty of time. Oh yeah. We're efficient. Please activate. Thank you. Acknowledge. There we go. Hold 80. We do have a red signal, which is interesting. Try to keep tempo map. Are you still pressed down? You're released. Okay, you are. What's that building on the left? That one there. Wonder what that one is. Acknowledge. What? I hit the acknowledge. Oh, okay. That's an emergency brake counter of 4 for today. 4 emergency brake applications? How? Just have it quiet. Thank you. Okay, now we have to wait for the brakes to recharge for the 4th time today. There's the next S12 service waiting to go to Horem. Well, from Horum off somewhere else. Yeah. So the 423 is decently modeled. Nice S-Bond Koln stickers. I don't... Does it have the correct interior or not? I cannot remember. Come on. Release the brakes, please. Oh man, we might just make it on time if we absolutely thrash this thing. Excuse me. Alright, let's get her up to speed. Don't think we'll make... it'll be a touch and go with making this on time. Oh, that's very close to triggering an emergency brake. This thing's too powerful for its own good, man. Horum. Oh, hello. We need to slow down. We don't want to trigger a 500 hertz magnet, so we have to stay under 20. We might arrive just a little bit late, but considering we had yet another emergency brake application. Oh, bit of an overshoot. Oops. Stop, please. Close enough. Alright, we're finally here. Oh, we've got signaling back up to green. Right, but we do have a 24 limit coming out of here. We will be able to depart on time. Were there any 642s over at this direction? No, because, yeah, you can start from there and go to Koln in the 642. Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with this remaster. It's definitely got a few flaws, but the overall way this is made and the it's just great seeing old roots getting a free remaster. Come on, thank you. Let's put you up to 20 kilometers an hour. 20 kilometers an hour, since we're still under the influence of a 500 hertz. Next stop, Koln Efrenfeld in 15 kilometers. Trust me, I will be making more content on the remastered Koln Aachen route. But yeah, there is a ton of content coming soon, which I'm very excited for. Just made a noise. Oh, we're all the way up to 160. We've just got Koln Efrenfeld and Koln Bahnhof. There is actually one particular area which I hope has been fixed, which had some bad light baking. It is approximately, if you have a look, is approximately, where would it be actually? Approximately here, the lighting acts when you're in a tunnel, and the old route when you weren't. We won't be checking that out today because we won't be going on that particular stretch of line, but I hope that has been fixed. It is a bit nuts to think that we've had 2 free remasters in the past 6 days, which is... We haven't had a remaster since Cathcart Circle came out during the Train to Build 4 era. That was in, like, July, August of 2024, I believe. And now we have 2 within a week, back to back. That is insane. Which is, it's very nice. There's a 423. Yes. This talented can really shift. Very nice. Hopefully we don't have a higher speed service behind us. They aren't too common, but yeah, they can be annoying. Looking all the way back to Durin, there's nothing on this stretch of line, which is very nice. 10 kilometers to go. 6 minutes to get there. Nope, wrong one. running so smoothly. Okay, slight stutter there, but still pretty much solid 60 frames a second. I bet you that's going to change once we get into the Koln area and many, 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 many more trains start spawning in, but yeah, it's very nice indeed. Those fields look pretty bare, but it is, to be fair, it's not that visible from the cab, and that's where I do most of my driving, so yeah. Since it's a free update, I'm not going to give it a free pass. I will do some critiquing, but I'm not going to critique it as harshly as a new paid DLC would be. No, not again. So yeah, there is a decent amount of new stuff coming. Just list off the stuff arriving soon. The stuff that I'm looking forward to is East Coastway Remastered, which is by Rivet Games and Firefly Simulations. The Class 171 and 377-3 pack for East Coastway by Rivet Games. The Medway Valley line by Firefly Simulations, that'll be include 2 new versions of the 375 and a fully functional GSMR radio. The Expert BR145 by Trains of Germany, that'll be another good one. There's a ton of new expert level functionality that's going to be added. The GWR HST Farewell pack for the Great Western Express Remaster, that's going to be another good one. That's going to be very nice indeed. Then West Coast Mainline Crew to Preston, set in 1986 by Just Trains. I do like the Just Trains West Coast Mainline stuff, so yeah, that's going to be very good. The Freightliner Class 70 by All Aboard Studios, looking forward to that. The Cumbria Coast Carlisle's Whitehaven by Just Trains, it's going to be good. Shut the power off. Oh, I shut the temper mat off. I think. Oh, no. Didn't mean to get up. Oops. Alright, let's start braking. Slowly does it. Neckartalbahn Heidelberg to Neckarels by Trains of Germany. That's going to have the first German steamer, the Deutsche Bundesbahn BR23, which should be absolutely excellent since, well, we haven't had German steam before, and TSG are doing a number of improvements to the borked steam physics. Then the one, of course, I'm most looking forward to. Did you really think any other route was going to take this position? The route I'm most looking forward to is the Tadami line Aizu Wakamatsu to Tadami, the first Japanese route for the game, which is going to be, yeah, it's not coming soon at all. It's not in the coming soon section, which is very annoying, but it is what it is. Another layer on this line is an AI-only TGV duplex from the LGV Mediterranean route, which I maintain to this day is the worst route in the game, but I keep it installed just to see TGVs on this line. So, yeah, they're not too common, so I don't think we'll see one today, but yeah, it's nice to see that does have a layer on this line. Even if it's AI only. I wish it was drivable since it stops at both Koln Hauptbahnhof and Aachen Hauptbahnhof, but oh, hello, we need to slow down quite quickly. Is that a 422? No, that's a 425 from Rhein-Ruhr-Osten. That's another route I never drive on, because yeah, I'm not that interesting of a route. I only keep it installed for the Dovetail 101 to work. All right, Alright, so we still have to stay below 24 kilometers an hour until the next signal. We do have 1 minute here, and then we're on to Koln Hauptbahnhof. Oh man. Finally having this route with TOD4 lighting is probably, like, is pretty nice. What's sad about this remaster, though, is it's been so overshadowed by the absolute, like, just mind-blowing excellence of the Great Western Express remaster, that this has been pretty overshadowed, if I'm being honest. Which is a major shame, but unfortunately it is what it is. Like, Dovetail chose to release the remasters back-to-back, so this one got overshadowed, and it's as simple as that. Plus, there wasn't the feeling of anticipation for as long, since this was only announced like a week ago that we were getting this remaster, and then we already have it, so... Alright, here we go. Maximum of... Oh, hello. We do... Right, temperament. Right, we do have to stay slow until we're past the signal. And then we should be able to just release, acknowledge... Oh, what? Huh? Alright, 45 it is. 40. There we go. Temperament is very nice for keeping to PZB restrictions. It's hard to believe that a year ago I didn't even know how PZB worked. And now I'm really adept at it, to be honest. Says the man who's had 4 emergency brake applications to the from PZB during the past service. Oh dear. Oh, hello. You've let me increase speed. Very good. I'll go up to 100 since we are close to that 70 limit. Let's go up to 90 actually. Actually, that's pretty close. I'll dial the speed back now. There we go. Oh, wrong button. Sorry. Safe to release. Please. Yeah, the P's and B buttons on this thing are a tad fiddly, but it is what it is. Okay, we're now starting to get into the Koln area. Yeah, Koln is one of those routes which is nice for a under an hour service. If you want to do like a short high-speed run, German high-speed run, it's pretty much perfect. Alright, are you going to make me acknowledge that? No, you're not. Oh, this is the bridge where it had the borked lighting and it seems to have been fixed. Fair play, developers. That was one of my biggest bugbears, the lighting glitch at that bridge. That always drove me nuts. Alright, do have a 60 limit coming up. There's Koln Depot? Yeah, Depot. On the left-hand side there. Look at that! All that static stock! I believe there is stuff from... Oh yeah, there's some intercity coaches from Rheinstrecke 101s, Ice 3Ms, Ice 1s. There's a... Oh, there goes the 642. There is a lot of stuff in this yard. Are those N-Wagens from Bremen Oldenburg? I never noticed them there before. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my game's not having too much fun looking all at this. 35 frames a second. But other than that, this route is performed pretty much flawlessly. And that is a major... that is a major benefit of remastering an older route rather than making an entirely new one, I suppose. We have the 40 limit coming up, so we'll just start slowing down now. Let's reduce the power. As a 423, 642, 146, and Talent 2 all racing each other. 500 hertz magnet. Oh my goodness. It's a 3-horse race out of there. That looked awesome. Alright, I don't know why we're under the influence of a 500 hertz, but it is what it is. And plus, we're really early into Koln Hauptbahnhof anyway. So, might as well just stay at 20 for now. Yeah, there's... Oh man. The 642, the 146, and the Talent 2 all having that race out of Koln Hauptbahnhof was pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Yeah, this is the limit of the German domestic high-speed services. Well, Koln is, because otherwise, yeah, they would have to have voltage change and French safety system capabilities, which they just don't have. Hang on. Since they added night lighting to stations, let's actually quickly have a look at this station and Koln Cathedral, of course, in the dark. So, put the time of day back a tad. 1 a.m. Just wait for the photo mode to... What? Okay. I count me impressed. So, Koln Hauptbahnhof night lighting looks decent. PIS screens look good. But, oh my goodness, Koln Cathedral looks absolutely awesome. That deserves a screenshot, I think that does. That looks absolutely gorgeous at night. Oh, man. Welcome to Koln Hauptbahnhof. Yeah, we're staying at 20 because I know that a 500 Hertz magnet is going to start going soon. So let's just go into Koln Hauptbahnhof. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Look at that vaulted roof, man. This looks great. Oh man. I think I'm most impressed with Koln Hauptbahnhof. And like the whole Koln area, because this looks beautiful. Like this station is awesome. Especially with like massive arched canopy. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I think this actually performs better than it did pre-remaster, which is insane because it's on the new lighting engine. Like, I can't fault this route's performance at all. It is amazing. Easy does it. Oh, we're supposed to stop. Brakes. Slight overshoot. Who cares? Forgot to keep an eye out. Oh well. Alright, this is the last stop of the day. Let's just watch this Ice 1 quickly depart here. There we go. No points lost for speeding. Well, because we used the tempo mat. 4 emergency brake applications. Oh my goodness. 61 meter overshoot at Eschweiler Hauptbahnhof. Anyway, that'll be all for this video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And please do become a channel member if you could afford it. Let me know what you think of this remaster down in the comment section. Goodbye.